Hey everyone, it's Carissa at Sprinkled with Glitter. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you are having a very wonderful weekend and a happy Mother's Day. I'm here with a really quick and easy one-layer card for you today, and I'm going to be using the brand new Essentials by Ellen Totally Random Sayings Volume 2. So I have that big, bold, happy sentiment there, and I'm using my Misty Creative Corner to line this up straight onto my card base there. And when I get it exactly where I want it, I'm going to go ahead and close the lid of my Misty to pick up my stamp. Now I'm creating a one-layer card today, and I don't do one-layer cards very often. And if this is not one layer, like a one-layer card in your book, then I'm really sorry. This is a one-layer card in my book. There might be a little part where you can consider it a layer, but I'm going with one-layer card. So I stamped that first in the Fawn Guava ink, and I'm moving this down 4 squares in my Misty, and I looked through that and I decided that was a little too far. So I moved it up to 3 squares instead. And when I closed this and I looked at it, I was like, that's too close. So I ended up at 3.5 squares, and I'm going to move it down 3.5 squares every time I stamp. So I'm creating kind of an ombre effect, and my next ink color was the Catherine Pooler Polished ink. So now that I have that stamped onto my card base, I'm going to move it down another 3.5 squares and then stamp again. This time I am using the Altenew Coral Bliss ink. And when I put it onto my stamp, for whatever reason, it looked like it was beading up. And I didn't want to get a splotchy image, so I just prepped the stamp with a little bit of VersaFine ink and then inked it up again with the Coral Bliss and stamped it onto my card. I don't know if maybe something in the way that the other inks are formulated was kind of causing something weird to happen, but I didn't want to take any chances. So I went ahead and just inked it with some VersaFine ink first and then stamped it. So next up, I have the Fawn Peachy Keen ink, and you're going to see me move my card base down here, and the end is actually hanging out of my Misty, but that's okay because I can still stamp. And I finished off my colors here with the Pink Pearl ink from Altenew. So you can see I have a beautiful ombre effect going on. I wanted the bottom color a little bit darker, so I re-inked it with the Guava ink again and just stamped it down. So I'm going to go ahead and clean off my stamp. I did clean between each color, and I'm going to go into a more masculine color scheme here with some combination of greens here. And I started out with the Altenew Emerald ink. It's a beautiful green color. These are some inks that I don't tend to use very often, but I love the colors, so you may see more of this in the future. So same technique here, moving down 3.5 squares, stamping in the various colors of ink. I used Antiqua for my second color. This is the Altenew Just Green ink. Then I'm using the Altenew Sweet Leaf ink. And I'm going to finish off with the Altenew Sweet Leaf ink again, but I'm going to stamp it off so that I get a really nice light image when I stamp it onto my card front. So you'll see me ink it up, stamp it off on a piece of scratch paper, stamp it onto my card base, and it was a little light, so I double stamped it with the stamped off ink. Does that make sense? So while I finish up this card, I wanted to let you guys know about a very special sale that's happening over at ellenhutson.com today. You can take 20% off your entire order. There are only a couple of exclusions, and that is the Breast Cancer Research Foundation stamp set and the new Mama Elephant that's been added to the store in the last 90 days. So you can get 20% off your order for Mother's Day. I will have a link in the YouTube description as well as over at my blog with all the details. So be sure to check that out, and happy Mother's Day to you. I hope you get to buy something that's been on your wish list. If it was me, I'm just saying, if it was me, I'd buy that Gemini Junior. I mean, wouldn't that be like the best Mother's Day gift you could ever give yourself? And 20% off? I mean, seriously, guys, don't miss this opportunity. So now I've taken the Birthday Wishes stamp here, and this is a really cool scripty font here, and I've lined it up over that second from the last happy, the one up from the bottom, and I've stamped that in some VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. It's a black pigment ink, so it goes right over the top of that. And now I'm going to do a little bit of embellishing, and I'm using these H-A-I or high. I'm not sure if it's pronounced H-A-I or if it's pronounced high, but either way, I'm using some star sequins from them, and I'm placing them onto my card front using my Marvi Yukaita jewel picker. And those were both a part of the May release bundle from the Essentials by Ellen line. It's called like the Star Bundle, and I'll be sure to link that as well in the supplies. And this black and white washi was also a part of the bundle. And I am going to adhere it onto some cardstock and trim it down so I can use it like pattern paper. And I'm doing the same thing with this gold foiled dot washi. And what I'm going to do is kind of create a cluster of banners up at the top right corner of this card. So I started out with some gold foil washi. And now I'm taking these two little banners that I cut and I created out of some washi and some white cardstock. I stapled them together using my tiny attacher, and then I just adhered them onto my card base. And then I'm going to finish the card off with a little bit of twine that has some metallic gold threading through it. Now, I did go back and actually add a second bit of like jute twine in the mix, so I kind of combined them and tied them together just to give it a little fun flair there. And that kind of like hemp-like or jute-like twine kind of has a mind of its own, so you can see it's kind of wild and fun there at the top. But that completes my cards for today. So easy, one layer cards. You can create these using a ton of different types of sentiments and in any color scheme that you want. I think a rainbow color scheme would be really fun for this card as well. And with that totally random sayings, there's a bunch of those bold sentiments and the smaller scripty sentiments that would be fun to pair up together. As always, I will have links to the featured supplies used in these projects in the description at YouTube, but head on over to my blog at sprinkledwithglitter.com. I'll have it linked below. Over there, you'll find more still shots, more information, a complete list of supplies, and some details on the very special Mother's Day sale that goes through the 15th of May over at ellenhutson.com, and I'll have a link to ellenhutson.com below as well. Thanks for stopping by today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed these one-layer card projects. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you won't miss any of my card making and paper crafting video tutorials. If you want to subscribe to my channel, go ahead and click that button on the left side of the screen. Here's a couple more video tutorials I thought you might enjoy. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.